Flight boss, bitch, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I'm gonna go live early and later on tomorrow, cause I'm freed up. You know what I'm saying? And I would have went live tonight. I would go live tonight, but I'm barely doing a video right now because I'm in the middle of NATO readings and shit like that. So, but I just got to get these energies out. But for sure, I'm going deeper to dissect the energies we're going to experience for the week tomorrow when I go live. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I want to break down just the natural awarenesses that you need to look out for. Now, for the most part, before we even get into anything, go, go, go. Happy flight day. Go, go. Happy flight day. Happy flight day, all my goddamn Libras out there. So you already know. Y'all my motherfucker opposite signs in this motherfucker. So you already know y'all motherfuckers get a shout out. Happy flight day to all my motherfucker Libras. So don't be utilizing your motherfucker lies to get your motherfucker wage right now. Don't be utilizing your motherfucker laziness to get your motherfucker wage right now. Don't be utilizing too much goddamn logic right now. You know what I'm saying? To get your way right now, and don't be trying to utilize that lizard energy that you be having, and to slither your way out of circumstances and situations and shit like that. Y'all know how y'all motherfuckers get down, but for the most part, y'all got all the energy and natural power right now. So for the most part, motherfucker, happy flight day. So y'all can do whatever the fuck y'all want to do. Y'all got the gift of gab. Y'all got all that motherfucking shit. So y'all can do whatever the fuck y'all want to do. But I just want to say, don't overindulge into that shit, and everything will be good. But for the most part, happy flight day. Go now. And far as the energies today, this is what all of our solar plexuses need to be focusing on at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Because the solar plexus itself is in the energy signature of Libra, still being backed and supported by Virgo, you know what I'm saying, for the next couple days, but it's getting you ready and getting you, suited and booted and ready and packed up and scheduled and routine and fashioned out for the daily task of Libra, you know what I'm saying, which is the middle of fall, not the middle of fall, but the beginning of fall, but I meant to say the beginning of harvesting. So, you know what I'm saying, you could get ready to start relating to all your harvesting, to relate with this harvesting, got with this harvesting, and what you could accumulate from the fruits and fruitions of what the fuck you got going on. So let's talk about the energy signatures of what's going on right now. Now, the sun being in Libra, right? What does Libra represent? It represents justice, balance, and this is something that we're supposed to be focusing on with our solar plexus, aka how we want to put out our light, our masculine version. Our solar plexus is our masculine, one of our masculine shapes and forms we created for ourselves. Matter of fact, the first masculine one, the feminine first one was the moon, or Merkaba for ourselves, and then the first masculine one was the sun. So this is like self-identity, your ego, your ability to be seen, your own light, your own imagination. When you was in your fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional state of awareness, your state of being, your space, your spirit. And then once you had that dream and imagination, boom, you emitted a light. And then it enticed you like a piece of fruit. So you went into that motherfucker and got lost all the way until you got a motherfucking body right now, till you could say, I'm me in this fucking light body. But at the fucking same time, this is what you need to be focusing on as far as your solar plexus. Libra-like energies. So right now with these Libra-like energies, this is cardinal air. Now, anytime you put cardinal in front of air, what does air represents? Thinking and communicating. Now, anytime you put cardinal in front of that, that plays out very differently than fixed and mutable. So when you got cardinal in front of air, this is a person who likes to initiate and create ways of thinking and communicating, aka air. So this is what we are supposed to participate in. Now, it may be a little harder for me because I'm an Aries, maybe a little harder for you if you're a Cancer or a Capricorn, but this is what we all need to work together is with the Libra, so we can get these things correlated ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Because right now the spotlight is back on the cardinal signs. You know what I'm saying? It just left the mutable signs when it was in Virgo, and now it's back on the cardinal signs. You know what I'm saying? The spotlight was on the fixed signs when it was in Leo. You know what I'm saying? Went into the mutable when it was in Virgo. Now it's back on us. You know what I'm saying? Cardinals, Aries, Cancers, Capricorns, and Libras. And then the leader of the ship right now is Libras. So right now we got to listen to y'all or kind of analyze. So whether y'all right or wrong, y'all are our examples right now to know what we are doing right or wrong. So we are in the learning process or the opposition process as far as the squares, you know what I'm saying, the cardinals, didn't mean to say squares, but the cardinals, which we all square each other, squared oppose each other. So for the most part now, so like I said, it may be a little Capricorns, you may want to initiate and create in your way. That may not necessarily work right now. You know what I'm saying? Cancers, you may want to initiate and create in your way. That may not necessarily work right now. You know what I'm saying? Aries, hee hee, haha. I may try to initiate and create in a way that may not necessarily work right now. So we all need to take advice from the Libra way of initiating and creating. And Libra do it in what? Air way. So we all need to take advice on initiating and creating new ways of how to communicate and think. Now, when you got cardinal air, this is what we need to participate in. Now, Libra is dealing with balance, justice. Now, when I say justice, this is not exclusive to no police force or the Air Force, or no fucking Navy, Army, or none of that shit. When we talk about justice, they actually got that from the energy signature of justice. But justice actually comes from things being unjust. So that just comes from when someone or something is getting the short end of the stick and something has to be done about that. Then that comes the manifestation of what y'all want to call what justice is, when something is being unjust. So just do it, just like Nike. But for the most part, that's what represents Libra. So when you talk about cardinal air and break down all the things that go up under that frequency vibration, that's initiating and creating new ways of how to think and communicate. So that automatically taps you into the vibration of trying to think where another person is coming from, trying to understand through verbal communication, trying to see things from other people's point of view. And when we talk about this from being the solar plexus, aka the sun, this is what's being seen, and this is going to correlate to a person's actions, how they act, how they do things, what they're consciously aware of, how they view things, and what others outside of them can view from them. So this is the energies so when we talk about the sun, dealing with your actions, the way you act and how you see things, we all need to focus that on initiating new ways of how to think and communicate. So right now, it should be a lot of communications going on as far as our actions. All our relationships shouldn't be in our feelings or doing things out of spite or tit for tat or being petty wop. Right now, we need to be in a situation and circumstance where, we're applying communication, because a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, the failure of all relationships is lack of communication. So right now, that heavy emphasis is being put upon things. You will not know what's going on without no form of communication. You will not know how to do anything without no form of communication. You shouldn't even want to be in the energy of trying to either act on things without doing something with someone else at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So try to apply yourself with others at the moment the best way you can. This is going to be a very terrible time for me as an Aries, because I don't necessarily do that at all. So, you know what I'm saying? This is where I will probably manifest a lot of bad circumstances and situations in my life if I don't apply to this energy as far as how the sun emitting. The sun is emitting that Libra information on the world. So these are the things that's being created and manifested out of it. So if I'm not participating in that energy, I'm going against the flow. I'll be going against the wave. And if I'm going against the wave, what happens when you in a heavy current, or you at the beach or something and you going against the wave? It's hard to go that way, right? And you might get washed up and get your ass hurt. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, this is what astrology is about. This is what the rainbow waters is about. So for the most part, this is what we need to apply ourselves in. Now, things is going to get a little tricky because the moon is in Aries, and it's going to be here for the next couple of days also. You know what I'm saying? Well, not the next couple of days. It's actually going to switch from Aries. You know what I'm saying? Because the moon moves a degree every 2 hours. But for the most part, the energy you're going to feel like right now, a little bit in the morning, you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature, and what you've been feeling and at this very moment is some type of sense of because it's going to fully go into Aries, but right now it's sharing a little Pisces. That's why I'm breaking it down, and I'm kind of mixing up on shit because the sun is being backed and supported by Virgo also, and that's I'm glad I broke that down, because that got me back to my point. Now, with the moon sharing a little bit of Pisces here, right? Imaginations and illusions is still kicked in right now at the moment. Imaginations and illusions. So you still got that sense of wanting to react and respond to wisdom, knowledge, meanings, and reasonings, but being safe, being safe means before putting yourself out there, absorbing yourself in that dream and imagination until you feel comfortable with it enough. You know what I'm saying? But you feel that little bit of energy now that time is up. You feel like you need to do something that you necessarily don't even need to do. You feel like you're rushing in a way that you're not necessarily even in a rush. Pay very close attention to that, because that's the moon actually going to forcefully going into Aries, and also we have a new moon in Aries. You know what I'm saying? So this is a new moon right now. We got a whole new, fresh new moon. So that means it's time to put in work. You know what I'm saying? When we got a new moon, that means it's time to put in work. When we got a full moon, that means it's time to sit back and see our fruits and fruition out of what we was actually putting in. So the whole time when it was a waxing moon, that means the moon was eating. You know what I'm saying? So that's the energy you need to put in. You know what I'm saying? Put in that work. Put in that thing. Put in that circumstance and situation. And put in that energy flow. You know what I'm saying? So that's when, wherever the moon was at, that's the energy signature you need to put in to plant your fruit seeds, your fruit flowers, or your fruit trees or whatever like that. Right? Now, once the moon is done waxing, it is full now. So now it is ready to shed. Right? So right now, it's full. Right? So you should already participate in all the energy that you have acted off. But anytime there's a full moon, do not over participate in the energy wherever the full moon is at. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind also. Don't participate in the energy to 100% of wherever the moon is full at, because then that anytime there's a full moon, there's high vibrational energies going, and the high vibrational energies is going to be in the energy signature of the sign that the moon is in. So if the moon is in Aries, right, it's going to be high vibrational frequencies in that signature. So this is why you need to understand, what does Aries represent. What does Aries represent? Cardinal fire, initiating and creating new ways of how to see and feel about things. Because when you look at fire, fire helps you see, it brightens up, but it also can feel. You know what I'm saying? It's also transparent, and it's deal with the spirit realm and the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional realm, because it doesn't stay here as a solid form. So for the most part, when you look at fire, now that's initiating, creating new ways of how to see and feel. So that's passion, that's action, that's enlightenment, that's being seen, that's forthright. You know what I'm saying? That's transformation. You know what I'm saying? That's heat, that's hot. You know what I'm saying? That's actually putting a lot of energy into whatever actually you're doing at the moment. So for the most part, this is what by it being a full moon, right? This is the energy that you need to participate in into the things that you about to shed. Like for the most part, like for them, look at it like this. Say you just finished eating, right? And you got a full stomach now. Now you want to watch a movie or something like that. Now it's okay for the movie to be like a Jackie Chan movie. You know what I'm saying? Or like an action movie or something like that, or things of that nature. Then you'll be able to understand, all right, boom, this is something you can enjoy because you're getting ready to start to see the fruits and labor as the moon start to wane again. And then that's the period of time that's the period of time that you sit back. Pardon me. That's the period of time that you're supposed to sit back and imagine and come up with ideas on what you're going to actually participate in next time when the moon start to wax again. You know what I'm saying? Wax means it's time to get up and go. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get full. It's time to put the energy into the seed and pack it. You know what I'm saying? But when the moon is waning, that means it's time. That means it's time to sit back and formulate the seed. How you formulate a seed is coming up with ideas and imaginations and feelings and emotions of these new ideas and imaginations, right? Then when you want planting the seed is when the moon wax. That's when you start to put in the work. You start to verbally talk about it. You start to act on these things. Surround yourself with people, places, and things that's dealing with that imagination and feeling and emotion. That's when the full moon wax. Now when the moon full, right, that's when you're supposed to sit back and observe all the shit you just did in that energy spectrum. But don't overdo what you was just doing, like, cause you gon' and then by the moon being in Aries, you gonna feel like something ain't done. You gonna feel like you gotta get up and rush and do something else. You gonna feel like you gotta do, and then that's when you overdoing it, because the moon is actually full now, and since it's full in Aries, you know what I'm saying, you'll put yourself in a situation where a bad situation, a situation that don't go right because you didn't sit still. You know what I'm saying? And you need to react and respond to not only the moon being in Aries, but also the moon being full. See, that's why you need to understand each transition and each sign, because they play out differently. Like if the moon ain't full and the moon is just in Aries, it will play out very differently than a full moon being in Aries. You see what I'm saying? Like, or a crescent moon, or a half moon, or a motherfucking quarter moon, or a motherfucking new moon. It plays out differently every time through all the signs. So you have to keep that in mind. So it's very tricky right now with the see. Damn, I'm about to close this video off right now, because if I can hurry up and finish these readings, because readings do take a little time, that I can go live tonight, because this is a lot of shit I want to cover. It's a lot of shit I want to cover. Alignments, everything. I haven't even got into the fucking sun opposite the moon. You know what I'm saying? So right now, anytime there's an opposite, that means that there's a give and receive or a tug of war match. You see what I'm saying? So that means there could be a helping hand with each other, a balancing with each other on the seesaw, or there could be a tug of war match wanting to go separate ways in all frequency vibrations. So when you got the sun being in Libra and the moon being in Aries, that's going to be this tug of war or give or receive match. So for the most part, when you get into this circumstance or situation, this plays out in a way that sometimes you may not know whether you should communicate or do things on your own. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to play out in a lot of different scenarios. Now, the part that play out where you're not going to know whether you should communicate or not is going to be based upon people's actions and the way you act. You're going to feel the need to act on, I think I should communicate, or I think I should see how other people communicating. But the things you're reacting and responding to and what's going to be your true state of being right now, and the thing you're going to respond to first is going to be like, nah, I think I should just go on my own, though. I think I should just think about this on my own, though, and just go ahead and see it how I see it and feel how I feel about it. And then when we talk about the moon always kind of slightly win the war between the sun and the moon. You know what I'm saying? When they opposing each other, because the moon is feminine. So for the most part, it's transparent. So it's being a reflection. So it's going to take the color or the reflection of whatever the sun is putting off and emitting. So the sun is actually going out doing the imagination, creating the things to bring back to the moon. But the moon is just sitting back and observing and being the true state of being. So for the most part, this is the energy that we all going to kind of feel. It may be harder for you if you are a Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn. Maybe a little easier for you if you're Aries, but for the sun, moon, or ascendant. But for the most part, these are the balance scales that we're talking about when we get on the moon spectrum now. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand that when you're reacting and responding, the energies that's going to be forcing us right now, that's on our back right now, is going to be forcing us to react and respond to initiating and creating new ways of how to see and feel about things. Remind you, when we get into that frequency vibration of Aries, which is cardinal fire, which plays out very differently to mutable and fixed in front of fire. When you get cardinal fire, that's initiating and creating new ways of how to see and feel about things. Now, once you start to get under those layers, now when you're initiating and creating new ways of how to see things and feel about things, that leave no room to see how other people see things, how other people feel about things. So then that leads into competition, single-mindedness, directness. You know what I'm saying? But also it can lead into leadership and actually coming up with a new way of seeing and feeling about things that others may be unsure of. So since you may be the one who came up with it, you may be unsure of it, but since you're the only representation of it, this will automatically by default make the Aries the leader. But you see how it can go, how it can be bad also? That leaves no room to take other people. So if you've been doing that for so long, and if it's been going right for you, then you may become stubborn and never see things from other people's point of view. Never consider other people's actions. So this is where you may need to learn from Libras, and then the same and vice versa. Libras need to learn from Aries from time to time that you don't need others' advice, or you don't need others' helping hands, or others to be with you from time, or you don't even need others, period, to do what you need to do at times. So that's just the two struggle. But we're all going to be experiencing that from a small degree at the moment. So keep that in mind. We're all going to be experiencing that to a small degree. So when you get into the opposite right now, not only is it a full moon, it's a full moon in Aries, and it's opposite in the sun. So it's kind of overtaking Libra right now. So a lot of times people just feel aggressively, they feel the necessary passion to communicate what they got going on right now. And that's what's going to be happening for like a good bit of the week. You know what I'm saying? People just going to aggressively feel like they need to state their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like forcefully, not even asked. People just automatically reacting and responding to new ways of seeing and feeling about things. And since the sun just went into Libra, people are going to be, their actions about that is going to be communicating that. And initiate new ways of how to communicate and think about that. So people are going to be forcefully asserting their 2 cents, their opinions at the moment. So be aware, everybody you around at the moment, that there's going to be throwing in their 2 cents that's not needed. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's actually going to be going on. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the little balance that everybody going to need to learn right now. So just be aware, because the moon always motivates the sun. The moon is how you react. The moon is forcing everybody to react and respond, to initiate and create new ways of how to see and feel about things. So people just, boom, sitting back already like this, right? And then that's that fire, that's that passion, that's that seeing, that's that feeling right there. That feeling that gotta get out, gotta be felt, right? And then it's gonna come out in the way, like I said, that's the moon. So it's gonna come out in the way of how it looks and how what looks. The sun. The sun is creating what shit looks. So the sun is in Libra. So that energy is gonna come out looking like Libra. So people are gonna be aggressively or forcefully or enlightenedly or opinionly or leader-likely or passionately expressing ways of how they think and communicate and what they think is finesse, or what they think is more class, or what they think is more balanced, or what they think is more just, or what they think is more, you know what I'm saying? That's what's going to be going on right now. Believe that, even in your relationships. Damn, I wish. All right, let me get these shits done. Let me get these shits done. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn, air.